Welcome to my show. Welcome to Larry Talks, a channel dedicated to inspiring conversation on family, love, faith, and everyday life. Here, we share wisdom, encouragement, and real life stories to help you grow stronger in your marriage. Marriage is designed to be a union of trust, love, and mutual growth. But when it becomes sick, the husband and the wife and even their children suffers it. A sick marriage is not always marked by open quarrels. Sometimes it is silent, cold, and distant. So this morning, we're going to be focusing on the problem of sick marriage in our society. What are the causes of sick marriage? What are the effects of sick marriages in society? And what are the possible solutions to curing a sick marriage? Now, when the marriage is sick, the society suffers. When the marriage is sick, the husband suffers. When the marriage is sick, the children suffer. So in order for us to have a healthy environment, to have a healthy community, to have healthy institutions, we must have to work on our marriage. Our marriage must be healthy. We need to have a healthy and stable home in order to have a healthy community. So this morning, our focus is going to be on how to achieving a healthy marriage. So how do you know when your marriage is sick? Here I'm going to be pointing out some signs to know that our marriage is under a kind of influence. That marriage is sick. And here I'm going to be discussing about ways also to cure that sick marriage. So number one sign that the marriage is sick when there is lack of healthy communication between the husband and the wife. In order for you to have a healthy marriage, you must have a healthy conversation with your spouse. Once the marriage is sick, then you begin to see husband and wife begin to distance themselves from each other. The couples will not share their hearts, they won't share their struggles, they won't share their pains. And there, misunderstanding begin to grow within the couples. Even little issues becomes a mountain. The next one is the absence of trust. When there's no longer trust in that marriage is sick. Then you see suspicion, jealousy, and even past betrayals begin to poison the marriage. The woman begin to remember what the husband did in the past, or even the husband begin to remember the atrocity the woman committed in the past, and gradually problem begin to build up. So without trust in that marriage, every word and action is doubted. So for a marriage to be healthy, the husband and the wife must be able to trust each other. Once there's a trust issue in that marriage, then the marriage is sick. The next one to know that your marriage is sick is when there's pride and selfishness. When the both couples put their own needs above the marriage, then there's a problem somewhere. And when that happens, love begins to die. When pride and unforgiveness is at the center of that marriage, then it will become difficult to render an apology, even when an offense is being committed. So the husband and wife will be going forth and back without a proper solution to the problems of that marriage. So you see pride and unforgiveness take a center stage in that marriage. That's why you see many couples find it difficult to heal, even when people intervene. The wife claims to be right and the husband claims to be right. So who is wrong in that situation? When both of them becomes a captain in a single ship, there will be confusion and chaos. That's why that marriage can't heal. You need to come to terms with the fact that for your marriage to heal, you must humble yourself. Humility is the first step to expelling pride from your marriage. Be careful. So we have another sign again that is noticeable when the marriage is sick, and that is social media influence. Couples should endeavor to listen to each other. Don't rely on outside sources to solve the problem of your marriage. You have to listen to yourself. You know what works best for you. So don't listen to people outside, because people can always confuse you. When you listen to outside voices, they will confuse you. Don't forget, many people do not like the kind of peace you're experiencing. You'll be jealous of how you and your wife are happy with each other, and they wouldn't love that. So when you rely on them to solve the issue of your marriage, they can give you wrong counsel, and that will deepen or even worsen the problem of that marriage. So sometimes listen to the voice of God. Pray and tell God to guide you. Another sign to know that your marriage is sick is when there's constant abuse. When your husband talks to you or your wife talks to you anyhow, you no longer feel respected in your home. A marriage where you're supposed to be secure, the husband or the wife comes out and they begin to talk to each other. They speak to each other the way they like. No one cares what comes out of his or her mouth. They speak violently to their wives, so speak violently to the husband without regard, without trying to know how the other party feels. You must be sure and careful of what comes out of your mouth. The Bible told us that our words should be seasoned with salt, so that they can minister grace to those who hear us. So be careful what you say with your mouth, because many of us, our mouths, our tongues are poisonous. So be careful what you say to your husband. Be careful what you say to your wife. Words kills. Words kills. There are words that kills people. Yes, words can kill. There are some things you tell me. Some people prefer that you rather put put something on their neck. This is where we need to work on ourselves. Couples should tame their tongue, because even the word of God told us that we can offend in all things, but if a man offend not through his word, he's a perfect Christian. So please be careful what you say with your mouth. People do not mind how another person feels when they begin to talk. There are some things you say today that can kill someone emotionally. Words are poisonous. So we should be mindful of the things that comes out of our mouth, because our mouth is a gate, and whatever proceeds out of your mouth, there are some things you can't take back, my brother. So be careful what you say to your spouse. Be careful what you say, because words can kill, words can heal, and words can kill. The last one is what I call spiritual decay. A marriage without God will suddenly become sick. When there is God's presence in that marriage, the marriage will experience peace, because when there is pride, when there is arrogance, when there is unforgiveness, then the devil is the one in charge of that marriage. So you have to be careful, and to know when you open the door of your marriage to the devil, you have to pray and ask God to secure your marriage for you. A marriage where there is no God, that marriage will continue to suffer abuse, because the Bible told us that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. So if you want a peaceful marriage, ensure that God is the head of your home. The presence of God in a marriage cures unforgiveness, bitterness, resentment, and a prolonged quarrel and fighting. So if you want to experience eternal peace in your home, ensure that the Holy Spirit is the one in charge of that family. This is where we're getting it wrong. Everybody wants to do things on their own self. But the Bible told us that even the arm of flesh cannot help us. The flesh can profit you nothing. It is the Spirit of the Lord that quickens. So when God releases His power upon your marriage, peace begin to flow like water. Invite God into that marriage and you see changes. So let's go to some few effects of a sick marriage in the society. Number one, the children from a broken home grows with trauma, because having experienced what transpired between their parents, it will certainly affect the way they reason, the way they see things, the way they see marriage, and the way they even view the society. So a sick and broken marriage will certainly affect the life and the future of the children of that marriage. So if not for anything at all, for the sake of the children, we must endeavor to have a peaceful marriage to prepare a better future for them. The next one is infidelity, separation, and divorce. Yes, once a marriage is sick and nothing is done to rescue it, it will be heading to either infidelity, separation, and divorce. So we have to be careful. We have to do something before it gets to that. And again, there will be emotional stress, depression, and even health problems. Once the marriage is sick, loneliness creep into that marriage, and it will cause a lot of issues. So be careful to know when you open door to the devil, so it will not attack your marriage. Lastly, a sick marriage can lead to a weak foundation, which largely affects the society. When the marriage is sick, the husband and wife is not happy, then the society is affected. For example, a man or woman that comes out from a marriage that is sick to a community meeting wouldn't make a healthy contribution. Now, what are the way forward? How can we cure the sick homes? Number one, there have to be an open conversation and be willing to listen to each other. So one of the ways to heal is for both of you to sit down and look at your faces. Once you begin to look at the face of your wife or the face of your husband, then you know that healing has come. Because separation started when both of you began to distance yourself from each other. So immediately you come together and be able to look at the face of each other, then love will begin to speak again. So heal yourself by talking to yourselves. The next way to heal is humility. Say, I am sorry. It goes a long way. Sorry goes a long way. Sorry heals a lot of sickness. Sorry can heal a sick heart. A heart can be sick for more than 10 years. But only one word of I am sorry is able to cure a lot of damages that have been done to that heart. So please, it is important we learn how to say sorry in marriage. And it has to be genuine. It has to come from a genuine heart. Let your wife or your husband feel that you are really sorry. So sorry can heal a lot of injuries in the heart. Next, know how to rebuild and to have trust again. And be patient with your spouse. Patience is one of the key to having a peaceful and a lasting marriage. If both of you are impatient, you can easily fall out of the way. So patience is one of the medicine that cure a sick home. Be patient with your spouse. Be patient with your husband, be patient with your wife, and be patient with your children. And you begin to experience a peaceful home and marriage. And again, in the healing process, when the marriage is sick, you must have to seek for godly counsel. If you really want peace to return to that marriage, if you want that marriage to be healed, then endeavor to listen to people that have a better experience more than you. People have been there. Many people have walked that road before you. The journey of marriage is not an easy one. So many people would have had such experiences before and were able to heal. So you listen to them and learn from them. Try and ensure that you listen from a godly source, because an ungodly counsel can disorganize your marriage. The Bible told us that blessed is a man that walk not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor walk in the way of sinners, ungodly counsel introduces confusion in a marriage. So when your marriage is sick and you want that marriage to heal, seek godly counsel and avoid ungodly ones, because ungodly counsel will continue to compound the issue of that marriage. So you want healing, then seek godly counsel, and the Lord will intervene and heal your marriage. So I pray for you that if you are experiencing any of these signs I've just discussed here today, God will heal your marriage, God will restore peace in your marriage and settle your home. God bless you. This is Larry Talks. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and help us grow.